Hi children, so welcome to your third session in poetry. So we've had a couple of days where we've been really practicing, thinking about how we read our poems, and today we're going to carry on practicing reading our poems, but we're going to have a look at some elements that poems have. So we're going to be thinking really about recognizing those different forms in poetry and be sort of discussing the words and the phrases that are quite interesting, but also thinking about rhyme and rhythm. Now, not all poems need to rhyme, but especially when you're doing silly poems, rhyming can add to it and make it quite fun. Thinking about the first one that you watched on Monday, a lot of Michael Rosen's poems, he was rhyming and making up complete nonsense because he was sort of linking his rhyme to it. So that can always be a little bit more fun. And we are looking at having a bit of fun with them. So the rhythm, I think, is just as important as rhyme, and the rhythm is there whether it rhymes or not. And so, for example, and this is a really clear rhythm poem, this is the Song of the Track, the Song of the Train, okay? And what they've done with the Song of the Train is they've created a poem that has those onomatopoeias, the clickety-clack, the words that actually sound like the train moving. As well as that, they've thought really carefully about how it works to make it feel like you're on the train. So those of you who are really familiar with the train, you know the train sort of has a bit of a sway when it's moving. They never move that fast, so they always have that little sway and that repeating pattern, and that we could call a rhythm. So it's a rhythm of the train, the song of the train. So I'm going to read it to you and see if you can pick out and hear that rhythm. Song of the train, clickety-clack, wheels on the track. This is the way they begin their attack. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clackety, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Over the crack, faster and faster, the song of the track. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clackety, click-clackety-clack. Riding in front, riding in back. Everyone hears the song of the track. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clickety-clackety-clack. Okay, so it's quite hard with your tongues, clickety, 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 clack. But you'll notice that as I read that, we started off quite slowly. And then when it said it's faster and faster, I got faster and faster. But there was a real rhythm. And that's the rhythm of the train, if you've ever been on a train, which you have, because I think we all went on in year one. So you have that rhythm and you have that pattern and you have that feeling, and they've put that in. So not only is the poem talking it and using those words that sound like the train sound, but it's also using the rhythm, so you get a real sense of it. And another poem that uses rhythm is a perfectly nonsense poem. And this is written by Spike Milligan. And he was obviously just having a lot of fun with this. Now, I've noticed, you can see I'm squinting my eyes because it's quite small on the screen. Will Mrs. Marshall be able to read it? Let's hope. So it's on the ning nang nong. So obviously ning nang nong, he's made those words up, but he's going to put some rhyme in and put some rhythm in. On the ning nang nong, where the cows go bong and the monkeys all say boo, there's a nong nang ning, where the trees go bing and the teapots jibber jabber chew. On the nong ning nang, all the mice go clang. You can't catch them when they do. So it's ning nang nong, cows go bong. Nong nang ning, trees go ping. Nong ning nang, the mice go clang. What a noisy place to belong is the ning nang nong. Now I read that quite slowly because I had to read it quite carefully. But there's a rhythm to that. And that rhythm fits with the rhyme, and that's where it all kind of goes together, because the ning nang nong when the cows go bong. So if you think about the rhythm on the ning nang nong when the cows go bong, and you can hear that there's a rhythm as well as those rhyming words. And that's quite important when you're reading a poem or writing a poem, that you want to have the same number of sort of beats or syllables in what you're saying that matches. And that's how you build up a pattern, just like I might build a pattern that might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. Those patterns that we've thought about in music before come through in the poems. And that's why sometimes you have to have words in a sort of different order. And sometimes you add a word in like and. You might not want and, but you put it in because you want to make it the right. So when he says, and the teapots, jibber jabber jew, he wanted to have that going and matching, and you can't catch them when they do. Same amount of beats, same amount of syllables in. So what I'm trying to do today really is just raise your awareness of how the rhythm as well as the rhyme really affect the poem and how you use it when you read it. And so if we have a think about what we're going to do today, you're going to do the same as you did yesterday, in that you're going to choose, I've written on, I made one, choose one of the poems for today. So you can either choose the Ning Nang Nong or the train song. You might do both if you have enough time. And again, you're going to have a go at reading it. Read it a few times. You might want to annotate it again. Where am I going to say this? Which are the bits that's tricky? When am I going to get faster? When am I going to get slower? And you're going to think about all those things. And then have a go at videoing yourself. See if you like it, if you don't like it, and be that critique to yourself again. I made a mistake. So if I critiqued mine, I made a few mistakes. I probably needed to read it through a few times and really practice before I recorded it. Perhaps my intonation could have said the same. I'm going to stress those words in the ning nang nong when the gals go bong. Am I going to say those words a bit louder than the other ones? So have that think. Did I do it when I read it? Could I have made it better? And then am I picking up that rhythm and using it to help me pace my reading of it through, so that I'm actually and I'm putting that into my voice and into the way that I'm reading it in the timing. So it's a really hard thing to do, and the ning nong nong is particularly difficult, but you're all up to the challenge, so I look forward to hearing some of yours. And again, if you don't want to video what you look like, just video so I can hear it, and you might just video the poem that you've got. And those of you who've got time might want to have fun and describe what the Ning Nang Nong. You might want to have a bit of a picture about what the Ning Nang Nong looks like to you. So well done, everybody. Have fun with that. I look forward to hearing what you do.